How's it going, everybody? This is Giovanni Vidal. You can find me at JV88_football on Twitter or on this channel. I'm going to go real quick through some showdown lineups I like for DraftKings showdown for August 25th. That's Chelsea at home taking on Luton. And Chelsea's coming in at a minus 400 favorite. With Luton sitting as a plus 900, a draw is 550. So for DraftKings, pretty straightforward. Given the big money line tag on Chelsea, the majority of lineups you're going to see in the heavy ownership is going to go to the Chelsea side. It's going to be mainly 5-1 stacks, so five Chelsea players, one Luton player on the comeback, or 4-2. So basically for cash games, I think Chelsea is going to come away with a win, whether it's something in the neighborhood of 2-0, 2-1. I really lean more towards the 2-0. Model gives a lean to the under 2.5, slight lean, so 2-0, 3-0, but a heavy lean towards Chelsea. So obviously you can't bet that. It's a heavy money line. It's not worth the price. But for as far as building the DraftKings lineups, Chelsea as a 5-1, I still think is going to come in as the optimal build with one Luton player. Now, quickly from the Luton side, because not too many guys I want to get a hold of from the Luton side, unless you're running an MME in the showdown. Uh, Basically, I think you have to start with highest ownership is going to be north of 55, 60% in the flex spot at the very least is Giles from Luton. He handles the set shares. Time of possession is going to be in Chelsea's favor, but Luton on some counters. Chelsea's offense under Mauricio Pochettino. If I definitely butchered the name, but they have a high press and cross from anywhere type of approach, which is good for DFS, but it also does leave them a little bit vulnerable on the counter, and you really got to trust the cover of the three backs in Axel, Disasi, Thiago Silva, and Levi Colwill. So, given the fact that more times than not, at least in the first two games under the system, we've seen Disasi and Colwill pressing up to try to get in the end of those crosses or on the corner kicks for attacking, and they do get some shots off. We do see Chelsea let teams kind of break out in the counters. So at the very least, like drawing some fouls and whatnot, it will allow for crossing pieces, maybe some assisted shots or created chances from Giles, who handles that. So Giles is someone I would absolutely have. Worst case scenario, at least you can still get somewhat of a floor around 7, 8 DraftKings points. In the worst case, hopefully he gets a little bit of drawn fouls and a lot more set piece shares. They did manage a decent number of crossing volumes. He had like north of 10 crosses in their first outing. So even if it comes a little less than that, I still like Giles in the flex spot to start off the Luton side. As far as the shot volume, a little bit pricey, so he'll come in with lower ownership. Carlton Morris, he'll also handle the penalties, I believe. So you really, even at the price, you still need him to score a goal, or else he's not going to help out your lineup. But any lineups you're running without the Chelsea keeper like Robert Sanchez, I think Carl Morris is a good goal hunting option for you. A little bit cheaper would be Adebayo. He is 1 second. Add him up. Yeah, around 5,200 on DraftKings. So for that, I still think I would still definitely go with Giles over him because they're the same price tag. So, but GPP is a little bit different. If you're running like a 4-2 Adebayo and Giles, at least you're still getting some shot volume from Adebayo. You're getting the floor from Giles, and Adebayo is a significant savings on the salary from Carlton Morris. Personally, I have no interest in the keeper Thomas Kaminsky from Luton. Even though I have an expectation and a projection that he's going to see around 5 to 6 shots on target. I do think Chelsea does pierce through the net 2 to 3 of them. So Kaminsky, I don't think can pay off any price tag. So I'm off on Kaminsky. Now moving on quickly to the Chelsea side. Like I said, for me personally, the 5-1 is the route I'd go. I know some lineups, especially people that me will have a bunch of 4-2s as well mixed in there. For cash, 5-1, and I still, even in GPP, the way to get different for me, I would lean off of Robert Sanchez. If you're running a bunch of lineups, I understand you have him in for the chasing the clean sheet and the win, but honestly, Robert Sanchez is not good as far as goalkeepers go. Chelsea does give up some chances at net, so really you're chasing one save and a clean sheet win. You're hoping he doesn't allow a goal, and his price tag is not favorable for it. And even just a clean sheet and a win with one save is really not paying off that asking price for a team that runs 5 different defenders. So any mix of 2 or 3 of those defenders, which we'll get into, you are going to need them if you're running 5-1 Chelsea stacks. 3 of them in your lineup, that's enough to cover a clean sheet for Robert Sanchez. And just the win with a goal allowed is not going to pay off his asking price. He's not going to come in as optimal. So for me, I'm off of Robert Sanchez, and I'll build the Chelsea lineup without him. Starting off at the top with at the captain spot, Enzo Fernandez handled the indirect sets. We know Reece James is out with an injury, and Ben Chilwell did line up in some of the corner sets, but it was mainly Enzo going back and forth between corner sets and even from outside on indirect free kicks. It was Enzo Fernandez. So his price tag is favorable enough. He has the floor. So I like Enzo Fernandez in the captain spot for cash games. A couple mixes in the in for GPPs, but he's gonna likely, just because the lower price, it helps you get a couple of the goal scoring options from the Chelsea side. Enzo's not going to be a low owned captain. I have him projected at around 22% in the captain spot. So for cash games, it's absolutely, I have no issues going there. Helps you free up some salary, and he has that floor with the indirect sets with created chances. And for GPP, I would look to either a full-blown goal hunting option with, say, Raheem Sterling or Nicholas Jackson, even though they haven't yet found the back of the net for the Chelsea side. They have the shot volumes. Raheem Sterling more so than Nicholas Jackson, because Raheem Sterling will take the ball up on the corners, and he has that crossing volume. He'll cross it at will. It's given the license to by his head coach, and he does with his quickness, he does draw fouls. He starts from outside, so he doesn't worry about finding spaces like Nicholas Jackson is through the size of Luton in the back. And I expect Luton to bring down their defense back line to prevent some quick movement and shots close at the net for Chelsea. Given on the road, they want to maintain the game and then take their calculated chances when they can on counters. So for me, Nicholas Jackson, because of his shot volume, I expect him to come in at around a little over 35%, even up to like 45% in the flex spot. A couple of shots on the captain spot just for the goal hunting upside, but he doesn't handle the penalties, and he is reliant on Sterling and Chilwell and stuff getting him the ball. So, given his high ownership, I'm going to lean off of Nicholas Jackson unless running 20 plus lineups. Then I'll get Nicholas Jackson in there. I prefer Raheem Sterling. His price tag is a little bit higher than Nicholas Jackson by I believe like 800, 800 more so than that, almost 2,000 more than Nicholas Jackson. So I think Jackson will come in slightly higher owned than Sterling. So I'm gonna go with Sterling pay up and just to get a little bit more leverage. I also do think Sterling might be in line to take over the penalties. I mean, Enzo Fernandez tried the penalty the previous match, and it wasn't a good penalty at all. And Sterling has taken penalties from his time back with Manchester City. I would be inclined to think if it came to drawing a penalty for Chelsea, I could see Sterling taking the penalty kick instead of Enzo Fernandez. So he has the upside, the goal scoring upside does Sterling. He has the crossing volume to build the floor. He does draw fouls with his quickness, so there is a way for him to get those DFS metrics. And going on right after Sterling, I do think with Moises Caicedo ready to go in the lineup and given the injuries up front, I do expect him to go into the midfield role alongside with Enzo Fernandez. Kind of sit back a little bit more as defensive minded midfielder and let Enzo roam up along with the two wingbacks in Malo Gusto and Ben Chilwell. So, given the injuries, I'd expect Conor Gallagher to come up. And past couple of years, different teams he was on or loaned out by Chelsea to different teams. He does do well in the attacking midfield role, and his price tag is very, very reasonable at around 7,600. So I am more inclined to take some chances in the flex with Conor Gallagher. Even as a leverage spot, I think you can get with him for GPP strictly. I think you can get away with Conor Gallagher in the captain spot. Maybe he sees some indirect sets, but mainly because in open play he's good with the creating chances. He'll take shots on his own when it falls and he's up the field already, not worried about so much the defense with Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo back there to worry about the counters. He has he'll have free range to roam up and take his chances at net. The price tag is favorable, and it's a big discount from Sterling and from Nicholas Jackson, so it helps you get in the Malo Gustos, Enzo Fernandez, Ben Chilwell's of the lineups. And if you're inclined to take chances in the flex for Robert Sanchez, Conor Gallagher in place of either Sterling or Jackson, or even Malo Gusto, because I think Malo Gusto is priced a little bit too high. At least Gallagher will let you get Robert Sanchez in if you're playing for like a 1-0, 2-0 Chelsea outcome. Staying with the GPP formats of 5-1 for Chelsea, I do like some deep shots, especially if you're running a single bullet. You need like to get real different. You can spread out the attack with also Ben Chilwell. You know, even if he's not on set pieces, in open play he runs up. He'll cross at will. He's really good at creating chances, and he'll even sneak in closer into the box, take chances on his own, and he's not shy to shoot. So with Ben Chilwell in the flex role to get a mix of the scoring distribution of any mix of Ben Chilwell, Raheem Sterling, Conor Gallagher, and or Nicholas Jackson. You can't take them all as you're going to run out of salary, but any three of those would work with Enzo Fernandez if you're willing to take the shot of one of the backline members for Chelsea. And for me, it's got to be either Axel Disasi or Levi Colwill. Yes, one of them in the captain spot, because Chelsea is going to be attacking. Luton will play safe and kick out the ball to a corner, reset their defense, and get ready to defend the corner set. And who attacks the corner sets with their size from Chelsea? It's Axel Disasi and Levi Colwill. They've gotten their shots off on the headers, each a couple or one plus, and then rotating back and forth between the first two games. And I think Thiago Silva is trusted more to stay back on the corners, because even though he doesn't have the speed, he's really smart with cutting off angles and preventing the counter attacks. So Levi Colwill and Axel Disasi, they're both a little bit more expensive than Thiago Silva, but they're around the same price. And if you slot them in the captain spot, if Chelsea do come away with a clean sheet, you're still getting that 4.5 bonus from the clean sheet, and it allows you to fill in Ben Chilwell in the flex. So the clean sheet, you're right there. You're kind of at least matching with anybody that's rostering the heavy-owned Robert Sanchez in the flex. Or you can throw in Robert Sanchez and really just go strictly for one-goal hunter, like a Sterling, Jackson, or Gallagher. Mix the rest up with the floors, and if you're chasing the clean sheet. But if they don't get the clean sheet, Disasi and Colwill do have the ability to get shot volume. They do come up and take some crosses into the midfield. Like I said, the entire team, as they're pushing up, is given free range to just cross the ball in for some chances. They trust that their offensive players can get on the end of it. Maybe you stumble into an assist from one of them. Mainly, what I'm chasing with them is if you're rostering them in the corner in the captain spot, is chasing those headers on the corner sets. So just to recap, cash games, I like Enzo Fernandez in the captain spot. I do not mind Giles in the captain spot, just because of the floor, and then you get the full arsenal of the Chelsea attack around them. But for me, I'm off of Robert Sanchez. That's my main way to get leverage. GPPs, I like Sterling. I'm fine with Enzo Fernandez shares. I do like some shots on Conor Gallagher. If you're running very limited lineups, to me it's Sterling, Gallagher, and or some shots on one of. You can mix and match one lineup, same lineup, just mix in Levi Colwill in the captain or Axel Disasi in the captain. If you're running less than 10 lineups in the GPP, it's a good way to get leverage. And they are attacking. They are getting headers. You just need them to get one through the back of the net. So that's my plays, guys. If you can take a minute to like and subscribe, it helps me greatly. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.